To be honest, I did a quick video prior to using this lens, and after seeing the images on screen, I wanted to give it just a little bit more than I did. Quickly, this company reached out to me. I believe it's pronounced Sirui. I'm not really sure. They sent me this lens. They reached out through email and said, "Do you want to try this lens?" And I said, "Absolutely, I would love to. If you don't mind me being honest." A lot of companies I lose at that point. I reach out to some companies too because I want to try some lenses, and they always tell me I'm not big enough. But that being said, my whole point in making the video was I was going to throw the lens on the Sony. This is the 85 1.4. I want to get that out of the way really quick. I think they call it Aurora or something. I don't know. I'm not really great with these, and I apologize for that. But so it's a beautiful lens. It's made out of metal. It has a gasket in the back. Everything you want to know. Okay, but the point of it, and they give you two filters with it, a UV and a black mist. I didn't use these. I'm really particular with my filters. These may be fantastic, I don't know. But the lens, again, I had to really redo this. So I put the lens on the camera. I was walking out the door, and this girl was coming in off the elevator to go get a consultation at the salon next door. And I asked her, would you mind me doing some, before photos so I can give them some photos? And she said, absolutely. It's nice to see a young girl that's that polite and that well-statured. She was just a very nice person, and it's great to see in a young person. Anyway, that being said, she agreed to it. When she came in the studio, she was fantastic in front of the camera. She started slow because she hasn't done this before, but she warmed up really quickly and was just great in front of the camera. Now, to the lens. I'm very impressed with this. Now, it brings me to this issue that I have with YouTube, and it's the YouTubers saying, it's a great lens and it does an okay job, but if you're a real professional, you have to have this lens. And that kind of drives me crazy. Like, I use a lot of third-party lenses on my Nikon system, on my Leica system. I absolutely love them. And, I'm paying on the Nikons, sometimes $150 for a lens. That is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with it. And I will show those in the future. I'm going to do more of these because some of these third-party lenses are just spectacular now. I mean, this one included. I think it's amazing what this lens produces at 1.4. And there's a lot of people that want that 1.4 look or 1.2 look or whatever that can't afford $2,000, $3,000 for a lens. In Leica's case, $5,000 to $10,000. But when you find a lens like this that does a really nice job. Now, I'm not shooting charts or brick walls or all that crap because that's not real life. That's not how 99% of the people use them. I'm sure there's some landscape photographers that absolutely positively need that edge-to-edge sharpness, that kind of stuff. But for the most cases, most people, they just want a good lens that focuses well, that renders beautifully, and they like the images. And that's what this lens gave me. I mean, there's just no arguing it. It's a great lens. I don't know what the price is. I'm sorry, I didn't look up that part of it. I'm presuming it's a lot cheaper than the manufacturer lens of the Sonys. So if you want that look and can't afford $2,000 or $3,000, this is a very good option. It's just that simple. And like I've been using my plastic lenses for years and years. They look brand new because I take care of my equipment. And I'm a professional. I do this for a living. So don't sit there and tell me I can't use this lens over a Sony lens because I'm a professional. This doesn't make me less professional. Remember, the only people that judge you on what you're using are yourself and other photographers, and they don't matter. Your client does. If you produce beautiful images, the client's not going to care what you use to produce them. And this produced beautiful images. Anyway, let's get to the shoot with this young lady. She was I hope she comes back in the studio again because it was such a pleasure shooting her and using her for this shoot. So I'm hoping she comes back. But let's get into this lens, see what it can do. Thanks for watching as always. If you have any questions, leave them below. And if I have a link, I'll leave it for this. But I'll definitely give you all the information in the description because obviously I didn't give it to you here. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Now, granted, there's not a whole ton to say about this lens other than it just works. I didn't have any problem with focusing. The fall off is beautiful. Sharpness is great. Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about it. Now, a couple times when I was really close, I mean, at closest focusing distance, it seemed to, I don't know if it was a miss more than a user error. So I can't really say anything to that. But, um, there was one or two shots when I was very, very close that seemed a touch soft or I had camera shake. I don't know which one. But the rest of them were spot on. When I took my time and shot it, there was no issues. When I was just buzzing right through and not caring, once in a while you got, just a little bit of a softness. But again, I think that was more user error than the lens because every other image was just spot on sharp, and beautiful rendering. Uh, you know, it may not be clinically sharp. Um, I can't even really say that 'cause the photos just look great. The sharpness was good. I like the sharpness was great. The focus was good. It just worked. And it was just nice using this lens and, knowing that it's at such a great price point for everyone to be able to afford, versus spending, like I said, two or $3,000 on a manufacturer's lens. It is a great option for someone that wants that, beautiful fall off. Now, as far as the bokeh and all that stuff, that's not a big deal to me because I want people looking at her, not at the backdrop. Again, you have to remember that the only ones that look at bokeh and all that stuff is you, the photographer. There's, clients and regular viewers don't zoom in on the backdrop looking at the shape of a bokeh ball. They really don't. They're looking at the person in the photo. And if they're not, you're doing something wrong. Um, I can't say it any clearer than that. Stop focusing on, what you're looking at, like bokeh and corners and stuff like that, and focus on the person that's in the photo and what normal people would look at. I had to do a couple just flash shots here, and these are out of camera, so I didn't adjust these, but I wanted to just, to use this as well. And I think I'm just using the SF-26 on these or the FF on it's, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong camera system. The HVL F28 is the flash I was using. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this photo shoot. Thanks for watching as always.